Hey, you're sitting on my basil. These tomatoes here are my indeterminate varieties. Like this. This is my preferred method of trellising. We are going to let a lot of this upper canopy grow.
Because if these leaves do have diseases, they're now going into the soil by you leaving them on the ground. You don't want your plants on the ground, you don't want your leaves on the ground.
The biggest tomato mistake I've made. This is real life, folks. We're going to quickly talk about a few tips about everyone's favorite tomatoes, how to prune them, and which variety you should look for. But first, I would like to talk about the biggest tomato mistake I've made this year, and that was planting them in this dill patch. I thought that dill and tomatoes would be a wonderful companion plant. I didn't look it up, and apparently dill, when it starts to flower like this, prevents the tomatoes from going. It stunts their growth. So I have 1, 2, 3 tomatoes that I have still growing here in this dill patch for 2 reasons. One, I moved several of them to a different part of the garden so that they can continue to grow. The reasons that I left these growing in here is because I wanted to try it. I wanted to test it. Is everyone right? Should I have not planted them with my dill, or does it really matter? So I have a variety of each growing here in this dill patch, and I have a variety of each growing out here in the garden, and we're going to see which one does better. But now I'm going to show you how to prune, or how I prune tomatoes, and a couple tips about them. These varieties here are my indeterminate varieties. That means they're going to continue to vine and get really tall, and I will prune them throughout the season. But what I like to do, especially this time of year, is to come in here and to look at their lower branches. I would like 1 central leader on these tomatoes so that I can stake them up on a pole like this. This is my preferred method of trellising, is on just a T-post. I've tried the Florida weave method, and I've tried just a string method, and you do what works best for you. But in the late summer, we do get strong winds, and a T-post holds my tomatoes the best. So how I like to prune my tomatoes, I prune them different based on spring, summer, and fall. So in the spring, I'm just going to trim them so they have 1 central leader, but then I'm going to leave all of the branching. In the spring, it's pretty wet, so I want a lot of airflow, especially around the base of my tomatoes. We are going to trim the bottom leaves off this tomato plant because I want lots of airflow around the base of this plant. And also it helps prevent diseases from the soil on the tomato plants. As the season progresses, I'm going to continue to trim the base of my tomato. Airflow is very important. Whenever there is not a lot of airflow, it promotes pests and diseases. In the summertime though, we are going to let a lot of this upper canopy grow. And that is to help basically shade some of the fruit so that it doesn't get a sunburn, because sometimes the sun is too strong and our plants will get sunburns. And we don't want that. In the fall, as you have these big giant tomato plants, you want to trim those leaves back, and you want to trim them back hard so that the fruit left on that vine can get to that fall sun that's not quite as strong, and they will ripen, and then you can take them inside and enjoy them after first frost. These are our Roma tomatoes. These are our Determinate variety of tomatoes. These tomatoes, Determinate means that they are more of a bush type tomato, and they will fruit more at one time. They will continue to fruit throughout the season, but they produce a lot of fruit at one time. And so whenever we go in and we prune these, it's basically the same thing. It's about airflow. We want to get the 1 central leader, or even 2 on our bush type of tomatoes. You can have a main stem and then a branch that comes off of there. But whenever you're pruning them, you're looking for things that are yellow, diseased, being eaten by bugs. You don't want that on your tomatoes. This goes to your compost. Do not feed it to your chickens. Also, don't leave it on the ground.
Hey there, I'm the Missouri gardener's husband. I help out a lot in the garden, definitely during tomato season. You'll also catch me in the background playing with the chickens. Typically feeding them, tending to them, picking the eggs up. We made a pretty awesome chicken coop about 4 years ago now. Not too many things still hold true from the 1920s, but chicken coop designs is the only one you should be looking at. make sure you hit subscribe, because whenever I go over that coop here in the next few weeks, you're going to want to see that video. Whenever you're pruning these tomato plants, there's a couple things you want to make sure you're looking out for. Any of these leaves that are hitting the ground is a no. So get in there, cut that off right at the base of that trunk, and get rid of these. Do not leave them on the ground. Either put them in your compost or straight to the trash can. You do not leave these on the soil, because if these leaves do have diseases, they're now going into the soil by you leaving them on the ground. So if they're on the ground, make it a very temporary purpose, put them on the ground, collect your stuff, throw it in the trash can. Now this one right back here, you'll notice that we got some yellow growing on. More than likely, it's because of it being on the ground already. You got ants and other ground insects that are climbing up on this plant. Get in there and snip. Don't want to leave it on the ground. Anything you see that's touching the ground, snip off of there. You got these guys starting. We're going to cut those off too. Most important is get them off the ground. It helps with airflow and pest control by picking your leaves up. You don't want your plants on the ground. You don't want your leaves on the ground.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.